Let's dive in, though, to Detroit versus Washington, where, look, Detroit wins this game by 20. It never felt all that close. Detroit was up in the first quarter and then just kind of rolled along. Jaden Ivey has 28 in this game. Malik Beasley, ended up with 6 threes and, hit a couple of mid-range jumpers as well. He had like a run out transition dunk, I think, as well. Isaiah Stewart was really good in this game. Jalen Duren ends up with a double-double. But the guy I want to talk about is Cade Cunningham. And there's a reason I want to talk about Cade. There are two reasons. So, A, look, Washington has not been a great defense this year. We don't need to pretend otherwise, right? Like, we don't need to sit here and be like, the Wizards are some incredible defensive juggernaut. They're not. But what I will say is that the Bilal Coulibaly matchup has been really tough on some guys throughout the course of the season. There's a whole video over on the YouTube channel where you can watch what Bilal did to Trae Young in a game earlier this year, where I thought it was one of the more impressive on-ball defensive games that I've seen in a while. I thought he was a stud on that end. So Cade having to deal with Bilal in this game was a really difficult assignment at the very least. And it's the kind of assignment, given how loose Cade has generally been with the ball over the course of his career, frankly, and at times this season, where I wanted to see what he would look like dealing with that kind of long ball pressure throughout the course of the game. Second, I just loved what Cade did defensively in this game. And I think it's a huge reason why Detroit has been able to take a big leap. JB Bickerstaff is the biggest reason why they've taken a big leap. He's clearly holding these guys accountable in a way that Monty Williams just never could, for whatever reason. We can talk about what those reasons are. Monty might have been a little bit checked out. Maybe the kids just weren't ready to buy in on that end necessarily. But Cade has lifted his level on defense in a significant way, to where I think that, like, there's not going to be really a case against him as an all-star if Paulo misses as much time as we think Paulo's going to miss, and if Scotty Barnes misses as much time as we think Scotty Barnes is going to miss. Cade has been unreal this season in leading the Pistons to now a 7-8 mark, where they're in the playoffs as of right now in a catastrophic Eastern Conference. But beyond that, Cade Cunningham goes for 21, 10, and 10 tonight, has 5 steals. He only turned the ball over twice in this game where he's facing Bilal Coulibaly. And on the season so far, Cade Cunningham is averaging 23.2 points, 7.1 rebounds, 8.6 assists. He's averaging nearly 5 turnovers a game, which is way too much. And I want to acknowledge that from the top. This is not a game that was representative of Cade in terms of his turnover issues throughout the course of the season. But it was a good game for him having the turnovers under control. And I think we should just start breaking down tape in terms of what I'm seeing, both on offense and on defense, because as Mr. TD says, Cade should be on triple-double watch nightly. I mean, he is on triple-double watch nightly at this point. And if he's also doing it while defending, that's a huge, huge difference maker for the Detroit Pistons moving forward. Okay. So let's dive in and talk through this. So Cade at the top here, number 2, being guarded by Bilal Coulibaly. And let's just kind of talk. So here we get kind of an early action for Jalen Duren to come up, set a screen. And Malik Beasley's just going to pump fake, step in, drill a mid-range jumper. This is just classic Cade Cunningham, right? Eyes always up. And we can even go back here and talk about what this action is. It's like a cousin almost of a ram ball screen. It's like a side ram ball screen where Tobias Harris is coming to set a screen here on Sarr as he comes around. And Duren's coming up to set a screen here. The goal with something like this is to get just like a little bit of separation between these two. so that when Duran goes to set a screen, it puts some pressure on the backside defender on the roll particularly. What I love about this here is Cunningham does a great job of trying to keep Sarr attached, knowing that Jordan Poole here is on the weak side. He's trying to find the lob for as long as he can. Poole stunt steps in. You can literally see Cade looking that way. He sees that Poole has stunt stepped in, which is going to leave Beasley wide open. So now he's just waiting to see how far does Sarr come to him. Do I have an angle to get the lob up, or am I just going out to Beasley? He ends up just getting it out to Beasley. Easy assist. Really good. Just reads the court really well. And now we're going to get into defense. So Cunningham here, I think Cade has generally been a somewhat inattentive defender throughout the course of his career in the NBA. Disappointingly so, because he can do it. Like, he actually really can do what he needs to do on the defensive end. Realizing it's a little bit dark in here. I'm going to have to get a light on at some point. Might try and do that while I'm talking through this. But Cade, what I love here is he's tagging. He's available. He knows what he's looking at with Alex Sarr rolling to the rim. Here, both he and Ivy come in and tag here. Make sure they're available so that Sarr isn't going to get a clean run to the rim. Kind of gets a hand on the ball. And now we've got Coulibaly, and he slides in front, just stays in front, stays attached. Then Sarr misses the shot. He goes to get the rebound, right? This is stuff that, you know, he might not have done a year ago in for all likelihood. This ends up leading to a drive from Ivy, bucket from Duran. That's a kill, though. That's a big stop from Cade Cunningham there. So here, again, I love the way that he stays attached to Kuzma here until they call out the peel. So he stays attached as long as he has to. He's trailing. He's trailing. He knows he's got Duran here. He waits for Duran to get all the way over. Duran waits for him to be able to cut off this little pass here, this pocket pass potential to Sarr. I love that Cade has his arm out, making sure that he can't actually achieve that pocket pass. It's a contest. Another long rebound leads to another long run out. Again, Cade's the low man here on what turns into, what is this? Is this a horn set, it looks like? So kind of a horn set where Sarr is going to cross screen for Poole to come over, take this ball here. And then Sarr is going to come from his cross screen area up to screen, and Poole's going to try and get through here. Or he's going to reject. But what I want you guys to look at is what Cade does on the back end. So after this pass here, Cade recognizes that Malik Beasley, under the best circumstances, not a particularly attentive defender, gets beat. So he steps up here just to make sure that he's attached. And then he gets back to Coulibaly, gets through the screen, cuts off the angle, gets the contest. Coulibaly makes a tough shot here. And ultimately, if we're blaming anybody here for why this ends up being an issue, it's Malik Beasley getting beaten backdoor on this cut here. But I like that Cade is there. He's available. Make sure that, okay, if Sarr throws this ball, I'm available to try and contest at the basket because I'm the low man. I have to be. And then he fights through, actually cuts off the drive here from Coulibaly, and then gets the contest. That's good. That's about as good as you're going to do it, in all honesty. Back to offense here now. Cade, just perfect. Attacking closeouts. Issue for Cade throughout the course of this season still has been finishing at the basket. One thing I just wanted to call out here, Cade has like a 7-foot wingspan, right? I feel like he short armed this a little bit. And in part, I think that a reason why he short arms this is if you look at where his takeoff point is, he kind of takes off of 2 feet from this far away from the rim. What I would just like to see in general from Cade is to take a right foot step here, turn his hips, get to a left step, and then be able to just use his body to protect the ball and goes up to the right hand finish. Instead, he kind of takes that little side jump step here, tries to go up off of 2 feet, when really, I think he should just be a 1-footed finisher. If you're going to finish below the rim, you have to have a better 1-foot package. That's where I think Cade is kind of losing a little bit of his ability as a finisher, particularly. So this one's just like a get set where, you throw the ball, then you go and take a dribble handoff, right? So throws the ball in here to Ivy, then comes back and gets it. Stewart's going to come and set a screen, and he's going to try and get downhill. But instead of trying to get downhill, Stewart goes to set a second screen here for Ivy to come back. This is sharp offensive construction. I put this in here just because I like the set. I think that with Ivy and Cade particularly, this is an awesome set that you can run regularly, because where I love Jaden Ivey is I love Jaden Ivey getting downhill, starting 35 feet away, 30 feet away from the rim, and trying to get downhill toward the rim this way. This is an awesome, awesome, awesome set. I love this. This makes a ton of sense. So here, takes the ball screen, gets out to Kuzma, and just gets the quick little steal with his hands, right? Just gets his hand in there. You can literally see just like him slapping at the ball, right? He sees the ball come in front. He gets a hand in front. Kuzma has unfortunately not been very good so far for the Wizards. Cade goes to get it. Little dump off pass, potential assist, just doesn't go through. Here, screen from Ron Holland. He gets the switch now onto Jordan Poole. Ultimately, you'd like to see him make this shot as well. I think when he's older, he'll probably make this shot. But Cade was getting to his spots is the point tonight. And I think the offensive construction here is really important. The Wizards were using Jordan Poole to kind of sneak off of Ron Holland, right? So that Poole didn't have to expend a ton of defensive energy, given how important he has been to their offense. Cade recognizes the rim protector. That's an easy shot that he should make. He makes them a decent amount of the time. Just didn't make this one. This is a awesome defensive possession where you're going to see Cade starting out here so that you guys know where he is. So screen, steps up to tag. He's there for if they hit the roller in Jonas Valanciunas. Then he's still here with the tag. Closes out. Ultimately, you'd love to see him be able to cut off this drive, right? But this is a long closeout. Like he's coming from there and avoiding Valanciunas. This is like a 25-foot closeout in what, a second and a half? It's not super easy. But I like that he fights back. I like that he gets there. I like that he at least gets a side contest, forces a miss. Here, ball screen, switches on to Kuzma, does a great job, stands him up, walls him up real quick, gets the contest on the Poole shot whenever they decide to go under this screen here. I don't even know what to call that from Wendell Moore, in all honesty. Not great, I guess is what I would call it. But I like that he's there. I like that he's able to get the contest on the pull 3 from deep. So this is a zoom action. Cunningham just hits the shake man coming up from the corner. This is like typical, patented, simple action here, right? So I guess it's not even a zoom action. It's more of a just DHO into a dribble hand or into a ball screen here from Cade. Kind of works the same as a zoom action though anyway. You have the roller, you have the corner man who can make a decision here to shake up to the corner depending on how much pressure they want to put on this man here. Essentially, Cade is just reading Kyle Kuzma here, and you can literally see Cade's eyes are up. He's just looking at Kyle Kuzma here. So he's trying to see, okay, where's Kuzma going? He thinks Kuzma's flat-footed, so he just drills it out to Beasley. Perfect little wraparound, live dribble pass for 3. This one, another easy early action. Basically just kind of like a pistol action here. You know, small screen. If there's any hesitation between these two, Cade knows that he can just hit Sasser coming out for the 3 here. You have Stewart coming out, setting the screen on Valanciunas. You have a cutter back door as soon as he sees his man helps. Sasser drills the shot. Here, this is like a post action here where Cade just brought the ball down the court, started in a post up. They decide to like throw this ball to him somewhere in, you know, no man's land here, and he just has to go out and get it. Just get a quick little step up from Isaiah Stewart here. Wizards decide to ice it. They've been icing a lot, particularly with Valanciunas on the court on side ball screens, just trying to filter guys toward taking mid-range jumpers if they can. Valanciunas comes out as high as he can to the level without risking getting beaten, but he's still just not close enough. Cade drills this 3. Cade's been really good this year. He's hitting like 35% from 3, hit 2 for 4 tonight. If he can hit that shot at 35, 36% on 7 attempts per game, yeah, it's going to be really good. This one, just another like quick little pistol-y action, right? Where DHO from Tobias Harris. So he takes this, realizes he can get downhill, spins off a Koulibaly. I mean, there's not even a need for any action the rest of the way. I'm sure he's trying to see, is this player going to help over? If so, I have the shooter here. Is Sarr going to help over? If so, I have the dump off here. Instead, he's just going to get all the way to the rim. Finishes. That is good length extension, by the way, on the finish. The other thing I will call out, notice how I said that quick little, like, I would prefer the 1-2, like left, right, or right, left step. Notice how he doesn't take off of 2 feet here. I think he takes off of 1 and gets to the basket just a little bit easier and gets there a little bit quicker as well. If he can get there a little bit quicker, I think it would really help his finishing game. Here, again, does a great job following the driver, or following the roller, I'm sorry, then cuts off the drive. So he's off ball here on Carrington. Yes, he has Tobias Harris low. But I think he sees that Sasser ended up like at a weird angle. So he thinks that the pocket might end up open. This is my guess. My guess is that he thinks the pocket could end up open. It doesn't, but I think he thinks it could, which is why he comes over to help immediately. Stays with him, gets back out onto Koulibaly, forces him directly into the rim protector here. And then they're in drop. He pays attention to where Bub is the rest of the way. Force a shot. I think that was a miss from Koulibaly. Let's get to a quick little note from Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money action. There are over 10 million members. Like I said a second ago, they invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks always puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. We are big fans of Prize Picks here. We absolutely love the app and what they're doing for the daily fantasy sports scene. Download the app today and use code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use that code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn a very liberal 4.5% APY on uninvested cash and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on IRA account contributions. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of the high net worth for any net worth for just $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For specific product disclosures, visit robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. Again, Cade, defense, down here in the left corner defensively, right corner offensively. I like that he's communicating with his teammates here. Like Jordan Poole just absolutely catches them here. So rejects. And then look at him talking. He's talking to his teammates. He doesn't want to be the one to come up because he knows that that's the same side kick out. So he's saying to his teammates, hey, either Tobias or Jaden, I don't know which one he's talking to necessarily, but he's telling them, hey, one of you has to get back. I can't get there. I like that he's talking. I like that he's communicating with his teammates on defense. Again, this is stuff that like it seems super simple, but it's a huge improvement for him on the defensive end. It's a big deal that he's doing this now. This one, I mean, the spin move just looks so much cleaner this year. He goes up and finishes this so well here. Again, they're running a lot of these like kind of pistol-y empty side actions where he gets to kind of go through, try to get a mismatch, but if not, he has an empty side of the court to be able to operate and potentially post. Here, Poole, I think he's trying to feed him back to the help if he can, which is why he stays on this side of Cade. Like, look, this is a very obvious driving lane. Jordan Poole knows that, but Poole's trying to keep him toward the middle because he sees that he's got 4 defenders here that can help him, and he knows this is a mismatch. But Cade recognizes, okay, I can just set him up with a right dribble and then a spin back. You can see him literally starting the spin before he puts the ball on the ground, goes and finishes through a tough rim protector and Alex Sarr, through contact, great finish. Now we're up, empty side again, where he can operate. Again, you just love to see him be able to finish this one at the rim, but he gets pulled in the mismatch again, just beats him to the rim. Honestly, again, this is where the footwork around the rim comes in. He kind of tries to go up off a 2 here again, right? So you can see that he tries to plant and then takes the extra step here, which gives Sar that little bit of time just to be able to get back. Where his next evolution, Cunningham's, is going to come is right here, taking off here and just using his length, using his right hand, inside hand to be able to finish here. I think that if he just takes off of his left foot, right hand inside finish, I think that that is where he beats Alex Sar to the rim and becomes a more efficient rim finisher. Instead, he has to go all the way around Sar for the more difficult attempt here. That's where the next step is going to come. I think it'll come from Cade understanding just his footwork around the rim a little bit. That's where I think he lets himself down. He clearly has touch. I think he lets himself down with his footwork around the basket, and that's where the next leap will come from him. So here, quick little horn set. I mean, this one, Brogdon just, absolutely throws this to him. This is like an interception where the defender or the quarterback just doesn't even see the safety coming over from the top of the play. So this is a horns action. You're going to see Sar come up, set this screen here. Brogdon's going to come off of it. Sar's going to roll. Cade realizes he has to be there and help. Nothing complicated necessarily. The reason that he walks in so early is because they put 2 on the ball here. He knows that he has to be there early to meet Sar. And Brogdon tries to throw a live dribble lefty pass. And I mean, I think he might just lose control of it now that I really look at it again. I think he probably just loses control of the ball. So Cade, quick little Euro, goes up, finishes. But again, I'll just say, this is one where loading up off of 2 feet with just that little hop step makes sense. You're going through Jordan Poole. You're going through Malcolm Brogdon. That's one where it works. I like that he has it in his tool bag. I just think in the half court, your time is less. You have much less time to be able to go and finish around the basket. I would like to see him go a little bit quicker with his footwork on 1-footed finishes as opposed to 2. So here, again, I like that he's available to Sar, closes out, forces Coulibaly baseline. They end up getting a turnover, right? So what all are we looking at here? Entry into a middle Chicago zoom action, whatever you want to call it, where Coulibaly is the corner man, dunker spot man, whatever, and he's going to filter through in order to try and pull Cade over this way so that Beasley is the low man and has to help onto Sar. Cade realizes it, realizes that Sar is coming that way anyway. I like that he gets out. I like that he closes out under control. Look at his feet here. Doesn't jump. He slides into the closeout, and that forces the turnover. That's excellent. That is absolutely the way you teach this stuff. That is perfect from Cade. Here, ends up getting this ball out of a deflection. Kick out to Tobias Harris. Just misses the shot. I just like the way he processes it here, right? Stops. He knows as soon as he gets the ball here where all 5 of the Wizards defenders are. And he's just trying to figure out, hey, what do we want to do? We're going to get the ball out to Tobias, and he misses the shot. It's a good play though by Cade. Here, quick little like staggered screen, double drag, whatever you want to call it. Drills it. Now they're up 15. As soon as he sees that Duran gets contact here and that Sar is in this deep of a drop, it's just too easy. He might make it, he might miss it, but it's an easy pull up every time. The read is easy. This is a true double drag here. Early exit from Duran. Ends up forcing Koulibaly with the pump fakes. I have no idea what the spacing is from the Pistons, in all honesty. It's not great, I guess is the way that you would put it. So pump fake, pump fake. You know, I like that he's able to draw the foul from Koulibaly. There's some craft there. This, I think, might be my favorite defensive play of his game. So just look at the way he navigates these screens, gets up over the top. Does a really good job, right? Look, you're not going to be able to get through every single screen every single time, right? So Koulibaly runs off. Got this little down screen here. He slides up through it. Going to get into a DHO, if I remember correctly. Yep. And then you're going to get into another screen where he has to get over the top. Just look at his chest here, right? He is just right in Koulibaly's business. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Does a fantastic job blowing up what they want to run. Again, Cade doesn't have to be some unbelievable defender. He just has to give effort. And when he does give effort, he's a good defender. It's just that it can't be what it was last year, where it was inconsistent effort. And so far, like, he's had games this year where he's not great on defense, but I think he's been at the very least average more often than he's been below average. And I think that he's had games like this where he's been really good on defense at times. So this one, you know, again, this is simple, right? Sar, high ball screen into a roll. He just has to be available as a tagger. Goes up, gets the steal. This one, we're out in transition. Hits Ivy. Easy kick out, right? Here, you know, again, just look at him. Aggressive on Koulibaly. Gets back in front. Forces the miss. He was super competitive on defense in this game. And he has real length. Like, look at where he is. He jumps from here. That's real separation. He has the length to be able to get back in contest. Really good. Just really, really good. Here, again, defensively, goes up, gets the ball. I mean, you can just see his hand slap down on it. Perfect. Gets it out to Holland. They end up keeping the ball. He can be lethal in transition, man. If he has a chance to do stuff like that, can be absolutely lethal. So this one, down screen from Duran, back up to a ball screen, then into a sick little lefty wraparound pocket pass, right? So Duran down screen here, Cade up, Duran comes up, sets a screen here for Cade. Cade rejects it. That's a hard pass, guys. That is a tight window here for a pocket pass. You've got Kuzma right here. Puts it in the spot where Kuzma can't get to it. And it ends up leading to an easy bucket. Offhanded. That's really hard. Not a lot of guys do that. Again, pistol-y kind of action. Does a great job hitting the little dump off here to Stewart. Then Cade, just a quick little make here. Again, how did we get there? Basically any action involving these two guys, I'm going to love it. Do this more often. Make life hard. Beasley can really, really shoot it. I think that's how you really get him involved. And then just a perfect little dump off, right? Excellent. Here. This is the mistake that he made defensively in this game. I think generally he's not very good at picking up in transition. I think sometimes he will kind of stay attached to the ball too often, trying to get back. I mean, this is just such an easy transition pickup where he has to be on the shooter here, has to be on Kispert. He knows it. He kind of slumps his shoulders after. He understands it. But he's got to be there. That's the one mistake, though. Like, if he makes one mistake in transition, you're probably okay with it. They crushed the Wizards on the boards in this game. I felt like 13 offensive rebounds to 5 for Detroit. This one, the Wizards went into zone in the fourth quarter. I like that he just shoots this gap here in this zone. Does a really, really good job. Shoots it. Gets to that spot there. Just decides to go up for the little floater. Look, he'll make some of these. He'll miss some of them. To me, that's a good shot, though, against the zone. Then we're going to get back in. Gets to his spot in the mid-range. Ends up missing this one, too. But hey, sometimes you're going to miss a couple on a possession. It's fine. The process is good, though. This one, rebound, home run pass. Easy for Malik Beasley. Again, just the vision. Just very quick. Sees it all coming here. I love the early hit ahead to Fontecchio. Realizes he has to get it over the top of Kuzma there. Kuzma's a long defender. Gets it there. That pass is what leads to them being able to have this team in rotation, right? When knowing that they're going to be falling into zone. Kick out, kick out, kick out. Sometimes you make them, sometimes you don't, right? Good little quick pass with his right there. Again, in zone. Forces the little help from Poole with just this little action, but getting the ball into the middle there to Duren to start, to me, huge part of this. He's able to get it out to Fontecchio, reverse it. Then you get the screen. Makes it so George is a little bit unaware of the screen. He sees Poole have to help way in here, and that's an easy kick out against the zone. It's just good. Just really, really good to me. Again, Cade available here. Steal out in transition. Easy kick out to Fontecchio. Beasley. They get fouled. Steal, though, he's available. That's a good game. That's a really good game from Cade. That's not his best offensive game of the year, but in terms of like overall production, where he goes for 21, 10, and 10, has a bunch of great offensive rebounds, has a bunch of really awesome moments on defense, has 21 points, goes 7 for 15, only turns it over twice, though. Just an excellent all-around game that I thought deserved a lot of credit. And it was not his, again, this is probably like his 5th best game of the year. This hasn't been some incredible basketball game where he was great or anything. He was solid in this game. He was really, really solid. So I liked it. I'm just not going to sit here and, say this was his best game. Here's the thing, though. If that's his like median game, Cade is probably an all-star this year. I think I saw this question. Is Cade worthy of an all-star spot so far? To me, absolutely. Like, we could give Cleveland probably a couple. We could give them, at least Garland and Mitchell. Both those guys have been fantastic. I would say that we give Boston at least, 2 or 3, Tatum, Brown, and, maybe Derek White. Derek White's an interesting conversation at the very least. I would say that Siakam's probably there. I would say that Karl Towns is definitely there. I would say Franz Wagner is definitely there for me right now. And I'd say LaMelo Ball is definitely there as well. After that, though, Giannis as well. Sorry, I'm realizing I missed Giannis. After that, I would probably have Cade right now. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be an absolute like war for some of those Eastern Conference All-Star spots. It's not nearly as competitive as it is in the West, but it's still going to be a battle. I would have him as an All-Star right now. We'll see what happens throughout the course of the year. But a big reason why is that he's taken a big leap on defense. He's no longer just a sieve. He's averaging 23, 7, and 8, and they're a top 7 defense, and he has been really, really good. Really, really good.